All right, everyone. Welcome to the Saturday brunch edition of No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of the hosts of the show, and to my that's right, Dustin's not here. Dustin is on the road. He is out of state, enjoying some vacation with his family. So I brought in some heavy hitters, or you could say made a call to the bullpen and brought in some good folks who are previous friends of the show to help us out for the Saturday, the go home edition of No Credentials Required before we go take our 2-week break. But again, we got some stuff in the can that I think you're gonna enjoy for all the cred heads and all for the new subscribers as well. So we hope you enjoy it. But in the meantime, we're gonna get things going in just a moment. I'll bring in my guests momentarily, but before we do that, just want to remind the people either watching or listening to follow No Credentials Required on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. And also check out our other podcasts and written articles at bellyupsports.com. And on the podcast side, you can subscribe to the podcast. I got to update this graphic. Wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, YouTube, and on Podbean. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube so you know when you're notified when live shows go up, when you're notified when show announcements go up, and you're notified when show clips go up on the YouTube channel. Because that's what we're doing. We're going live here. The full replay is on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. We'll post clips here on the YouTube channel on No Credentials Required. You can also check us out on Twitter and on Facebook for the live streams as well. And again, rate, review, comment, 5-star rating would be helpful. Review on Apple Podcasts, on Podchaser, and on Good Pods. Leave a comment if you're listening on Spotify, because you can leave comments on all past episodes of No Credentials Required on Spotify. And because we're a live show on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, and on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Also, the occasional happy hours on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Hope we'll have more of those in the future. But it's a live show, and we appreciate your comments. We got a lot of comments rolling in, and we'll get to them in just a moment. But yeah, I just want to play that beautiful, beautiful sound. I know Dustin is off in the Northeast coast, somewhere somewhere in New England, and I'm pretty sure he'll hear this particular sound when I play it. So yeah. This is the reminder to leave some comments, both on the YouTube side for Belly Up Sports. Drop some comments below about what you think of the episode, and also during the live show. So yeah, here's your reminder. And as usual, on Saturdays, throughout the baseball season, we are discussing the hot topics of baseball, Major League Baseball, with our boy of summer, Kevin Wilson. Kevin, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well because we are currently on vacation.
Hey.
And we're sitting at a resort here off of Lake Palestine in East Texas. Yesterday was our anniversary, so we are doing extraordinarily well, and I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Happy anniversary to you and Mrs. Kevin. How many years?
21.
Hey. All right. Good for you guys. Oh, it's awesome to see lots of marriages staying strong in this world. So congratulations to you guys. We're also going to bring in our other guest. He is the host of the 1420 Sports Bar podcast. He's also a giant baseball aficionado. He's also a giant hockey aficionado as well, because, he's in Canada, so you kind of have to be. But he is another friend of the show. And he's also the voiceover of our Righteous Felon commercials on Belly Up. So if that voice, we say, hey, I know that voice, that's because it's this gentleman, Brent Radlinsky. Brent, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, just settling in back at home. I've been away for 10 days, but it's nice to be back on the show and back at home and relaxing and talking some baseball and a little bit of hockey later on. Nice to be here as always.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind telling people where you been the last couple days, couple weeks.
I was out in Victoria, BC, umpiring the Canadian Little League Championship. So 11 and 12-year-olds, the best across the country, were gathered in Victoria, and team from British Columbia won the whole thing on a Thursday afternoon. All the days are kind of blending in together lately, but Thursday afternoon, there was probably 2,000 people at that. I know it's not Williamsport, but there was 2,000 people gathered at a Little League park, and it was everything that was right. That's right with minor sports when it's done right. There's no parents trying to get their kids scholarship at the age of 10, and it was a lot of fun to be around, and it was just a great experience all around out there in Victoria, and being a part of. And it kind of comes full circle when you get to go back to your roots kind of deal with Little League baseball. We've all played it and all had a chance, but at the age of 51 and celebrated my birthday on the field with a bunch of 12-year-olds was a lot of fun. So no, it was just a great experience all around, and kids were smiling, and we have to have a laugh when you're sort of get long-winded here, but when you get kids get 14, 15, 16 years old, and you might not make the correct call, they let you know about it. When a kid's 12 years old, they're like, oh, okay, and then they just go off the field, and it was and the parents were great and no complaints, and it was there for all the right reasons. When parents can butt out and just let their kids go out and play, it was just a real eye opener for a lot of people. And I hope more people can go out and watch that kind of stuff, because that's what's right with sports. Because kids don't, parents really try to push their kids a little bit too quickly, but when they're out there having fun, it was just a great experience all around.
Yeah, awesome, very cool experience. So there's some comments in the comments section. Dan Cruz from the Department of BS saying, "Greetings, lads." Greetings to you as well. I don't know if you guys know, Mr. Cruz is getting married next year, so offer any kind of marriage advice to him. Desi from Alabama saying, "Sports ball talk." Yes, indeed. James checking in saying, "Good morning." Desi's playing the show in the car while we're on, so thank you, Desi. Appreciate you coming. Appreciate you tuning in. Desi saying, "Kevin," and Dan saying, "Brent." And Mr. Cruz is saying, I've abandoned my Yankees fandom for a while. Sad to say, but right now the Mariners have taken my heart. Blame the Seahawks. Yeah, blame the Seahawks. Well, I mean, look, I promise not to talk about this because we've been beating this horse dead 10 ways from Sunday.
Well, they make it so easy, Brian. They make it so easy. So
this team makes it so easy. Yeah, I mean, last night's game, they go into the 10th inning, and Aaron Boone, the magician that he is a wizard. I say this with the heavy dose of sarcasm. Brings in Devin Williams to try to right the ship, and unfortunately, he gives up 3 runs in the inning, and they wound up losing 5-3. Which means today at Old Timers, it's Old Timers Day today at Yankee Stadium, and Hal Steinbrenner and Aaron Boone are going to get rightfully booed out of the building, and good for Yankees fans for voicing their displeasure. But Dan says also, all right, how long till Cashman is gone? Enough is enough. Look, I said on the show on Tuesday, Cashman brought in the right pieces. He identified the needs. It's up to Boone to make the players play their positions well, and he's not doing it. So this goes on the manager, not so much. I mean, yes, I know Cashman's the golden calf at times for the Yankees. He's also the soiled calf for the Yankees, but for me, this is all in Boone. This is all in Boone. His managerial style is just it's awful. It's awful.
It's at a point. And we weren't going to get into this, but if we're going to get into it, let's do this. They used to call Girardi the binder, and for his moves that he would make, he would follow the script to a T. And so I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters who the manager is. This is who they have. They went like you said, they went out and got the pieces, and then this guy does this guy does this guy does this. And if your players don't deliver, what are you going to do? I mean, I think it's above Boone. You could insert manager here, insert guy here. I don't think it matters. I think this is even above Cashman. It's all of the guys that they've assembled, and they're pig-headed, and this is the way things are. If you want to blame anybody, you can blame Mike Mussina back in 2000 and 2003 for getting the Yankees to the 11th inning, and that's why Boone hit the home run. So if anybody's fault, you can blame Mike Mussina way back then. It's just ridiculous that it goes on this far, and when is enough? And I don't think there's a limit, because no matter who you put into that spot that Boone sits in, they're going to be told to put this guy in. Devin Williams, by all accounts, was supposed to be the guy to put the Yankees over the edge, and he just hasn't. So is it his fault? Probably. But if you keep putting him in, well, what's he going to do? Is he going to get better overnight? Probably not. Baseball's such a mental game. It's 80% mental, 20% physical. And when you're not right between the ears and you're beat going in, what are you going to do? And if you keep getting told to put the guy in, and it's maybe, like I said on my show last week when I was out in Victoria, maybe they're just not that good. Maybe that's just the basics of it. Maybe the New York Yankees aren't that good, and we should quit talking about them. Maybe.
All right.
Well, good luck.
No, what's your thoughts? That's just my
thank
thoughts.
You. No, I know as a fellow Yankees fans, I actually did listen to that episode. Yep. I watched that episode on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. Go check it out, 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. And I mean, Brent is one of our more knowledgeable Yankee fans of like a lot of my co-hosts and friends. So I definitely trust his analysis. Kevin, I don't know if you have anything else to add before we finally put the kibosh on this Yankees talk.
Let me just say, if you're the Yankees, why do you trade for Bedard from Pittsburgh, right? Because you knew that Williams was a potential problem. And then you don't use him, and Williams is an issue, no question. So, and Bednar? Okay. So he was awful, went to the minors, but ever since he came back, he's looked extremely well. And so just put him in that position and see what happens. And if it goes, sideways there as well, then, it's just the way it is.
Yeah. And Bednar had 5 strikeouts against the Texas Rangers.
That's right. I had a close-up view here in Texas because the Yankees were here.
Hey.
And if you're the Yankees, Nathan Eovaldi is a great pitcher, no question. But you cannot be one hit by any pitcher if you're the Yankees. No. Come on. They're was
just not that good.
It's the offense is Aaron Judge and then a cast of supporting characters that can't seem to break the ice.
And so, that's I don't get. So I'm not a Yankee guy. Never have been. Never can be. But
you could.
Come on, Kev. You got 2 of us right here.
Everybody's well aware of that by now because Brent and I went on right after the World Series, and of course I was happy because the Dodgers won it. But we had said earlier in the year that every team goes through this, but this is way beyond that now.
Yeah.
And so like you guys, I don't know if there is an answer here.
I think what it comes down to, like all these teams, and we can just kind of segue into something, but all these teams have to have some intellectual honesty with themselves.
Yeah. Like
when you start making if you go into the trade deadline and you need 2 starters, 2 relievers, and a third baseman, how good are you? You have a 25-man roster and you're looking to, you need a 20% upgrade on your team. That's just not how it works. And all these teams with champagne wishes and caviar dreams going into the deadline. Okay, well, yes, sure, we might make the playoffs, but are we better than the Dodgers? Are we better than say the Brewers? Or did the Brewers do enough? Or did the Tigers do enough? Or did the Tigers say, you know what, we're going to make the playoffs, but if we overspend this, is this a bonus year for us being in first place? But we're looking towards next year, draft capital spending, blah, blah, blah. If you got to have some intellectual honesty with yourself going into these deals, because, okay, sure, we're okay. We're pretty good, but do we sell everything with the hopes of winning and not having that extreme confidence that we're going to win? There's a fine line there. You got to go for it because winning's tough. I say it all the time. Winning's hard.
Yeah. I mean, I know that the Yankees were looking at getting Eugenio Suarez from the Diamondbacks, but the Diamondbacks were asking for too much. They wanted Spencer Jones. Yeah. And right now the Yankees are not willing to part with Spencer Jones. I think they're figuring him into their plans for next season.
Yeah.
And pray to God they buy up Giancarlo Stanton's contract. Good Lord. Seeing him run the outfield gave me nightmares.
Yeah, it's like, and prospects like that, and it's tough. Like prospects are fine to have a whole bunch of them in your drawer for everything else, but sometimes prospects are just bodies. Like when you're trading the number, like when you're holding on to the number 7 prospect in your organization, not even in the league. Well, it's just math. right? Like, okay, so
Right.
this guy could be the 200 best player in the minor leagues. Whoopity-doo. Like, I don't know. Like, it's there's a really real fine line there between going for it and saying, we're maybe not that good. And it's pretty wide open this year. Like, is it like, are the Dodgers great? Yes. But are they unbeatable?
But they have their issues of their own. Pitching in particular.
And anybody could have seen that come. That's why they signed 700 pitchers. And so, and an example of that, Brent, is the San Diego Padres.
Yep.
Because they buried, their farm system. It's not where you could just flame up the whole system right now because they traded everybody. And they're in. So does that work? We'll see. Because if you're going to burn down your home farm system, then you need to win the championship. To me. So we'll see what happens with that. And the Dodgers went the other way because they didn't do a whole lot at the trade deadline.
Which was shocking.
I was very surprised as well. They brought in one guy from Minnesota, two guys really, but nobody's dancing the jig because of that happened. But we'll see because they got Blake Snell back and Tyler Glasnow was returned, and that's
actually addition by just doing nothing, right? You're getting better by getting two quality starters, and you can never have enough pitching.
Never.
They didn't have to do anything because they had guys coming off the IL that are going that are.
They have Clayton Kershaw who pitched yesterday, and that was baseball at its finest. You talk about baseball. You had Clayton Kershaw and Max Scherzer going head to head, and it was a pitcher's duel. Both went 6 innings. It was 2-1 when they were out of the game, and that's why we watch baseball. That kind of stuff right there. And so I'm excited to see what's going to happen the rest of the way. And let's see.
Well, speaking of baseball, good baseball, let's talk about this pennant race. Let's talk about the teams that have been really good out of the gate from the trade deadline. I'm bringing up the standings right now. AL East, Toronto, it's theirs to win, although Boston's starting to creep up. They're 8-2 in their last 10, which really – I vomited in my mouth a little bit as I said that.
But
AL Central.
You have to say, Ryan, I'll just put this because we bashed on Boston with the whole thing and sending the guy to San Francisco and everything. But Devers. But their moves have worked. And so, Boston's a legitimate threat here. And I didn't think that was going to happen. So, maybe you could look at what they did and why is it working and why the Yankees did what they did and it's not. There's a complete contrast here that's going on.
Oh, I can tell you, it's culture. It's culture. It's team culture.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. It's team culture. And actually, here's a funny thing. 4 out of the 5 AL East teams have plus run differential.
Right.
Blue Jays, Red Sox, Yankees, and Rays have a plus run differential. That's incredible. Meanwhile, in the Central, Detroit, it's basically theirs to lose. Although again, Cleveland starting to get hot at the right time, but they're looking more like a wild card team than they are division winner. AL West, that's going to be very entertaining down the stretch. Houston has been in first place since around mid-May, but Seattle, who blew that early division lead, they're only a game and a half back. They've won 5 in a row. National League, Phillies and Mets. Phillies are starting to pull away a little bit. Mets are starting to lag. Marlins, which were my team to lose 100 games this year, they're spiting me with a 57-58 record. Of Atlanta, who's one of the most disappointing teams in baseball this year. Then there's Washington, who's Washington. NL Central, the hottest team in baseball is the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm sure a friend of the show, Vince Stover, is smiling from ear to ear right now with 7 wins in a row.
The sultry tones of Vince. I can't imagine he'd be too quiet about that one. Yeah.
Well, we'll be doing our show on Monday, guys, and I'm sure I'll listen to the Brewers for about half of it. So.
Yeah, of course you will. I'm so sorry, Kevin. No, but I know some of the crew, the Belly Up crew, is in Ohio for the Fantasy Football Expo this weekend. So shout out to Vince, to the Corner Booth guys, to High Low Sports, some of the other fantasy guys who are out at the Fantasy Football Expo this week. Would have loved to join you, but it's things are what they are.
That's right. As I mentioned, it's my anniversary week, so I'd prefer to have a 22nd anniversary. So
I'm sure Mrs. Kevin would also prefer to have a 22nd anniversary too. All right, NL Central Milwaukee Brewers are the hottest team in the league. They also have the best record in the league. They have 128 run differential. 128. They're in the plus column for run differential. That's how. And to think that in April, when they're playing the Yankees and they surrendered all those runs, you thought to yourself, "Oh my God, this Brewers team is not as good as they are." They're now the best team in the major leagues. Followed by Chicago, who had a pretty insurmountable. It looked like they had an insurmountable lead in June. It is now gone. They are now 5 games back, and that's another case to be studied. We talk about the Yankees collapse.
It really is.
Talk about the Yankees collapse. Look at the Chicago Cubs and what they've been doing. Followed by Cincinnati, the Cardinals, and the Pirates, who are pirating all over the place. The NL West. They got the Dodgers, the Padres, who are 3 games back of them, San Francisco, Arizona, and Colorado, who are now 30 and 85. Congratulations to the Rockies. I've got a bag of Invader coffee sitting on the table right now for Dustin next time I see him, because he's obviously going to win our race to the wooden spoon. But look at the wild card. Boston currently owns the first wild card spot in the American League, followed by the Mariners, who are a game back of them, followed by the New York Yankees, who are only half a game up on Cleveland for that last wild card spot, followed by Texas, who we almost left for dead a while back. They're starting to heat things up. NL wild cards, it's Chicago, San Diego, the New York Mets, then Cincinnati, San Francisco. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Miami Marlins are only 5.5 back of the last wild card spot. My goodness. So let's talk about the division races. Let's talk about this. What are we seeing here as we shape up towards the? We're currently in August. We still have another month and change to go before the playoffs start. And Kevin, I'm going to have you start here. Which teams are you seeing winning divisions, winning wild cards out of this group that's currently in the standings?
Well, let's start with the National League, because I think that the 6 teams that are currently in are the 6 teams that are going to make it. And because Cincinnati, as you mentioned, they're 3 back.
Yep.
And so that's not insurmountable, but it's still far enough back that Cincinnati teases you every year, but they fade. And they made some moves at the trade deadline and everything, but I don't have any confidence in the guys that are outside the current playoff race. And so the teams that are in the playoffs right now are the teams that are going to get there. And I think that the Dodgers are going to hold. The Padres are all in. That's great for them. But the Dodgers, I think, are going to win. The Brewers are playing extremely, as you mentioned, they're going to win. And the Phillies, they did enough to make themselves a complete team. And so those 3 teams are going to win a division. And then the question is, because the Mets are really struggling, the Cubs are really struggling. But I think they're going to get it together. So those 3 teams that are in the wild card are going to stay there. The real interesting thing to me is the wild card race in the American League, because as you mentioned, Cleveland's just a half back. And I thought for sure that the Guardians, you could flush them down the drain not too long ago. And I think Seattle is going to overtake Houston to win that division. And they've made the right moves for that to happen. Detroit's going to win. And Boston is playing well, but I think Toronto's got enough that nobody's really talking about them. But I think Toronto's going to win the division. So
yeah,
Cleveland is a team that could sneak in there. But if they do that, are the Yankees out? So that's going to be very interesting to watch. So that's how I see the races right now.
Yeah. Brent, how about you? Let's talk about this.
I see Cleveland overtaking the Yankees because all the signs just say that that's what's going to happen. It's just how bad the Yankees have been. Like, and if Cleveland can just play even a few games above 500, that's all they have to do. Really, like it's that simple to get into that wild card spot. And as far as the division, the American League East, the Jays are really good. Like I know they lost the Dodgers last night in a good series or a great game that was close, but the Toronto Blue Jays are really good. They're getting a lot of offense. They put up, I know it was in Colorado, but they put up almost 60 runs in the 3 games, and that's pretty unprecedented. They can hit the ball, and Bo Bichette, who the Jays fans kind of left for dead a little bit, pretty much getting him his welcome and goodbye, see you later card. Thanks, bye, see ya. At the end of the season, he's had a big resurgence, probably a big reason why that team's doing so well right now. He's is he going to stay a Blue Jay after this year? It's a lot of money for 2 guys, and Rogers outfit doesn't like spending that kind of money on 2 guys, but they went out and got, I know it's Shane Bieber, but 3 years ago, it would have been a major acquisition. But if you can get 3 great starts and a great playoff start out of the guy, you never know what that might happen come October. And I think the Jays are a team to beat. Boston, like you said, Ryan, they're really good. They're flying. We kind of left them for dead, and even their fan base was a little bit disgusted with them early in the spring there, that they just weren't going for it, weren't doing anything, but they just told the line, said, here's what we're going to do. Didn't have to overspend. And that's kind of one of the things that's astonishing. You don't have to overspend a lot anymore, because the pitchers are, I don't want to say interchangeable, but your middle of your lineup guys are kind of interchangeable. So if you can get a guy to get hot here and there, like these guys are doing, it can work. There's a lot of mediocre teams, and I'm not going to say I know who the Astros have coming in their last 40 games, but I think Correa is going to help them a lot, getting him back.
Yeah.
That was a huge acquisition, and I've forgiven, but I'll never forget the no good cheating Astros. But
neither will Kevin.
Right? like they have a definite shot at doing some damage, and they won the division how many years in a row, so you can't count them out.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of guys back who are injured, who were previously injured. They're getting a lot, like Alvarez is coming back. Jeremy Diaz.
Yeah,
he's coming back soon. Former Tri-City Valley Cat Jeremy Diaz is coming back.
So the Seattle Mariners made the deal at deadline to improve themselves, and it's. I think all the teams, and I don't think the Mets are going to stick around, because the Mets they're the Mets. I mean, that's just what they do. No matter how much they want to spend and how much they're going to do, and the Soto deal, and we beat that one to death too. But did they do enough? Probably not. And they're 1-9 in their last 10. Well, that kind of says who you are at this time of the year. You don't go on 1-9 and think you're a good baseball team. That's it. It's just not the way it works. Can you still get hot? Can you put something together? Yeah, but that's just who you are. If you don't just turn it around at this stage in the game, in my opinion. Can it happen? Has it happened in the past? Yes, but rarely does a team have that kind of a losing streak and say, yeah, we're a World Series contender. I think it's wide open to have anybody who can win. The Padres might jump ahead of the Dodgers. Who knows? But the Dodgers are still the Dodgers. Until you do the old Ric Flair, until you beat the man, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And and it's just, I do think that it is wide open. Does Seattle finally get into win a playoff round for the first time in how long? And you look at these teams. I'm sorry to get long-winded. I got a lot to say apparently.
I brought you on, Brent.
You look at what's a success to these teams? Is making the playoffs a success? Is being a wild card team is a success? Is hosting a couple playoff games is a success? Winning a round is a World Series. So these teams that, or just to be around, just to be relevant until the last weekend of the season to put some butts in the seats, is that a success? And I don't know. What's Milwaukee's? Because they play in a bad division. Let's not sugarcoat this.
No. So it's Detroit.
Right. So same with Detroit. Is Detroit thinking World Series or bust? Probably not. But they have Skubal, and how many years are they going to have him? So they got to take advantage of that. And so you just wonder what success is to these teams. And once again, going back to that internal honesty, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, and it was Jeremy Pena. I don't know why I said Diaz. It's Jeremy Pena from the Astros.
Right.
He just recently came back against Boston.
That's why Correa's playing third base.
Yeah. So, but they got other guys returning too. Let's see. Luis Garcia's returning soon. let's see. Isaac Paredes, he's going to be out for a very long. He's going to be out for a while.
Unfortunately, because he was playing well.
Yeah, so I think the AL West is going to be a dogfight all the way to the end between Seattle and Houston. That'll be fun. I'll be interested to see, like you said, Brent. I'm interested to see if Seattle can win a playoff series for the first time
since 2001.
Since the Clinton administration? Oh, since the Bush administration. Okay,
right.
Never mind. Since the George W. Bush administration.
That's when they won. What was it? 116 games or whatever.
That was And then they lost.
And they lost to the Yankees in the ALCS.
They lost to the Yankees in 5 in the ALCS. Yeah,
that's
this
right.
Team that didn't. That was like very much like the Boston Bruins in 2022. But yeah, I mean, looking at the standings, I see. Seattle's having a very good push. Milwaukee's a very good push. Do either of these teams? Could you possibly see either of those teams make it all the way to the World Series?
It's certainly possible.
No, I want certainty, Kevin. Come on.
Okay. We're in the wrong business for that.
I know.
We are in the wrong business for that. And I've made enough predictions and been taken to the back of the woodshed enough times because it wasn't panned out. But some I have made that were correct, but more than I haven't. So that's why I'm sitting where I am. But if we knew exactly what was going to happen, we all go to Vegas, okay, and have our own TV show.
I think that there's no reason why the Brewers can't.
No,
like I don't see it. Like Philadelphia is really good. They have everything going the right way, and they have star power, right? They've made all the moves over the years. So, and like the Phillies are kind of that team that they've been licking the jar for a lot of years, and if not now, then when? And they have the star power, and they've spent the money, and they might be overshadowed a little bit in the East with the New York media that they don't get the props they deserve. But the Phillies are really, really good.
Yeah.
But why can't Milwaukee do it? Like there's no reason why they can't. Like they went out and they do it. You don't go like on the offside spectrum. If the Mets go 1-9, they're not very good. But if you go 9-1, it's tough. Like you go up and down the standings every day. Everybody's 6-4, 5-5, 4-6. Like every team is like that, right? And you get the odd 7-3 in their last 10, but you go 9-1. That's impressive because everything has to go right every day to get that. You got to get starting pitching, and then you got to get your relievers. And the way the game is played now, it's a lot different. How you have, like I said earlier on, your script that says this guy pitches this many innings, and you give the ball to this guy, then you give the ball to this guy, and then this guy closes it out. So you have to have 4 pitchers doing their job every day, no matter what. And I don't know about how you guys think, but every time you include more human beings in something, it usually gets screwed up. Like it's
too many cooks in the kitchen,
right? It gets screwed up. So for a team to be able to go 9-1 consistently and have 73 wins, whatever they've got, that's really good. And it's tough to do. Like winning's hard, and the way that the Brewers were able to put it all together with cast of characters, I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah. We do have a correction. It was 2022. The Mariners made the playoffs for the first time in 21 years and beat Toronto in the wild card.
Okay.
I won't say the last sentence, but yes. Since the
yes, that's right. When the Jays had a 7-3
they had a 2-0 lead. That's right, and went down the drain. So yeah. Okay.
They went really sideways for the Jays. I remember. Yeah. That's yeah.
Well, keeping us honest, we appreciate it.
There you go.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Brewers,
I'm a big fan of fact checkers.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell me how wrong I am all the time.
That's usually my job.
when it comes to the Brewers, they need to win that first round series.
Yes,
because they've been bitten time and time again. Last year being a clear example of that. They were in the 9th inning. They were a couple outs away from winning, and then Alonso happened. And that's happened to them enough times. And so if they get past the first round, then we'll see what they can do. But they can certainly win it all. There's no question in my mind.
Yeah. We'll get some comments before we take a quick commercial break. Desi saying her husband's mad at her because she traded the Braves for the Mariners. She's now a pseudo Mariners fan for the rest of the year because the Braves
come on board. Yeah.
execrable this year. Let's see what else. Mr. Cruz saying Yankees missing the postseason might actually be the best thing for the franchise. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with this statement because it gives time for Steinbrenner to clean house.
That's right.
But he probably won't.
Let's just say this, right? If they don't make the playoffs, there's no way Aaron Boone can stick around, right?
No.
There's no way.
No, there isn't. Even though he signed a 2-year extension earlier this year, which had me raging on the podcast on Tuesday, somebody from that dugout has to say something to Cashman or Steinbrenner, just saying this ain't working.
There's only one person that has to say something. That's
Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge.
If he says something, then it's done. So maybe since you're up there, and I know Aaron Judge likes to watch the show. Okay.
Yes, he's a huge fan. Judge is a huge fan. He's a big credhead. Right.
So Aaron, get over there and get this taken care of. All right.
I think it's not even Judge. I think if Garrett Cole comes in, they're going to say, "Listen, I only have X amount of years left in my career."
Yes,
and Cole, I think Cole's more of a gamer, and not that Judge isn't a gamer, but I think that Cole's more of that kind of a guy to slap his gums more than Judge will. Judge seems to toe the company line a bit more than Cole would.
Yeah,
I can see that because Cole's contract is huge. The money wise, but it's pretty average. And there's a lot of guys making that much money, and he could say, "Trade me here." I want to win one. My legacy is cemented, but I want to win something.
Yeah, trade him
That's
back.
why I came.
Trade me back to Houston.
Yeah,
there.
Well, there you go.
He's already been traded here, traded there. He's on his third team. What's for him to say? Okay, what are we doing here?
It worked for Verlander, so
Judge. I don't know. Judge and Boone to me are I don't want to say they're best buddies, but if he hasn't said nothing yet, why would he say something in the offseason? I think it's more of a Cole thing because
it is.
Yeah,
it is because you look at some of the highlights. You see when Garrett Cole pitches games for the Yankees, and you see Boone come out to the mound when he's rolling.
Yeah.
And you see him give him the ball, and you see just the look on Cole's face. He's just like, "Why am I being taken out now? We have a lead. I'm rolling. I'm hot. I'm getting the calls. I'm getting the strikeouts, and you're taking me out when I'm rolling."
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, what's this relationship going to be like if Boone's here in 2026 and Cole's coming back from Tommy John? I know he's going to have pitch counts because they want to save his arm, but. If Boone, of course, providing Boone is there. We'll see.
You go.
To be determined. But for now, we're going to talk about
our explode by then, I think.
If I hear a noise from Lethbridge, Alberta, I'll know it's Brent.
You know exactly what it is. Yeah.
All right, we're going to do our quick commercial break, our quick ad read for one of our newest affiliate sponsors here at No Credentials Required. That is Royal Retros. Remember when jerseys were bold, mustaches were majestic, and shorts were criminally short? Good news. Royal Retros is here to bring that vintage magic back. Chafing not included. They got retro style football, baseball, hockey, and basketball gear that screams, "I was born in the wrong era, but I dress like a champion." Rock a jersey so old school, people will ask what time machine you stole it from. And here, what you want to do is go to royalretros.com. That's the sponsor on the screen. Use promo code CREDHEAD at checkout for 10% off your order. That's CREDHEAD, CREDHEAD, like a true fan of the show, but with even better taste and throwbacks. Royal Retros, because your fandom should be loud, proud, and at least 60% polyester. And I'll bring up one product from Royal Retros that I particularly enjoy. I love retro leagues. And they recently just brought in, I don't know if Brent remembers. Do you remember Roller Hockey International?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have some friends who played in that back in the day, yeah.
Hey.
The Calgary Voodoo, where it was one of the teams.
The Vancouver Voodoo, actually.
Vancouver Voodoo, sorry. Yeah, it was the Calgary Rads, actually. RADZ.
Yes.
It was. Yeah.
Wow, we broke out the Z.
Yeah.
But there it is. You can get yourself a Vancouver Voodoo RHI jersey for $79.99. It's a custom made jersey. It's available in 4 to 6 weeks. You can get your number and your name if you want. Let's talk about this Vancouver Voodoo team. The Vancouver Voodoo were charter members of Roller Hockey International starting in 1993. The club folded after the 1996 season. They played at the PNE Agrodome, the Pacific Coliseum, and the GM Palace. So there it is, all its glory. The Vancouver Voodoo jersey. Look at that.
Wow. If you name your team Voodoo, you got to get points, don't you?
That's nice.
You should. I mean, the Arena Football League had the New Orleans Voodoo back in the day. So they played a pretty successful team back in the day. But yeah, Royal Retros. Use promo code CREDHEAD at checkout. You get 10% off your order. You help yourself get some point, and you get free shipping for every order over $100. So get yourself some gear. Use promo code CREDHEAD at checkout. You see, you help our show because yes, we do get a little bit of money back from every order. All right. Oh, and Desi's saying I need criminally short shorts just because they exist and beg to be worn.
Okay.
We approve.
Me too.
Yes, Desi, that gets the where is he? Where is he? That gets the no credentials required seal of approval. There you go. As does Royal Retros, and I was a Royal Retros customer before they jumped on as an affiliate sponsor. So I got some shirts. I got a Baltimore Stallions Grey Cup champion shirt. That's 30 years this year. Was the first and the only. It's funny the last time an American team has won a Grey Cup in 1995. The last time a Canadian-based team won a Stanley Cup was 1993. So we've seen an American-based football team win a Grey Cup.
I remember exactly where I was watching that Grey Cup. I was in Fort McMurray, Alberta, playing junior hockey for the Oil Barons up there, and we had a Sunday off for some reason, and probably because it's Grey Cup, it was scheduled that way. And yeah, I was in Boston Pizza, and I was 20 years old. Jeez, I'm old.
Wow.
I'm old. I got my 30-year high school reunion next weekend. So
yeah, crazy.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of hockey, we got to discuss the NCAA NIL versus Canadian juniors. And I brought in Brent for a specific reason because Brent is a big hockey fan. He's a big hockey guy. He's in Canada. He's in the middle of all this. So when the NCAA said, yeah, we're gonna allow teams to bring in Canadian junior players because they want access to those teams and they probably want access to that money. So the biggest news since that news came out was that Gavin McKenna, who is the prospective number 1 pick in the NHL draft in 2026, decided to forego his time in the Medicine Hat with the Medicine Hat Tigers and sign with the Penn State Nittany Lions hockey team. And they announced this week that he would be wearing his number 72 as a member of the Nittany Lions next season. I don't know their full schedule. They haven't released their full schedule yet, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of sellouts because people are going to want to see this kid up front and center. But Brent, since you're here, you're one of our hockey experts here at No Credentials Required. Should this worry Canadian junior teams with these offers? And some of the money that came through with this Gavin McKenna deal was he was getting $700,000, but he's rumored to get $900,000 for this to play for Penn State. Should Canadian junior teams be worried?
Yes. Plain and simple, yes. Like it's that simple. It like with McKenna and the Medicine Hat Tigers, I went to Memorial Cup last year. I used to be I lived in Medicine Hat for a number of years, and there was a lot of guys that like a lot of times where that building wasn't full. And then when they go to the Memorial Cup finals and they make a bunch of money and some nights you have 5,600 in there, you go 3,000 tickets more at $22 a head. That's a lot of money per game. So you just do that. plus the you remember when Connor Bedard was roaming the Western Hockey League with Regina Pats, other buildings were sold out. He'd go right across the league, so those buildings were sold out. So owners were making a lot of money off the backs of these two kids. So yeah, they should be very worried that there's going to be a lot more talented kids go down, and especially the high, not so much the mid-level guys and your lower level guys, but the high-end talent. It's a no-brainer to go the NCAA route, and especially if you're only going to be there for a couple of years, and you can make $1 million in 2 years, or it might be not everyone's going to get McKenna money, but if you can go for a couple of years before your draft year, you're not riding the buses throughout Saskatchewan for a couple of years, you're not playing 68 games, you're on airplanes, you're getting better training, better facilities, and on it goes. It was a no-brainer for McKenna to go, and so for all of these other kids are probably thinking the same thing. Most of these, and the thing with hockey, it's probably the same way with a lot of sports down in the States. But hockey's expensive to play.
Yeah. So
a lot of these kids who are playing at the high levels, money's not really a problem for their parents. They're not all millionaires by any means, but because they probably come from some well-off families. It's almost a no-brainer to put a few more bucks in your jeans, and it goes like in this NIL money. Is it right? Yep. The kids should be because if somebody's willing to give Gavin McKenna, like, I don't know what kind of revenue the Penn State Nittany Lions bring in for their hockey team brings in every year, but I don't think it's a ton of money.
I'll tell you. Go ahead, but complete your point. But I have something to add.
Yeah, but if somebody's willing to give a 18-year-old kid $700,000, he's going to take it. Like it's a no-brainer. So So somebody must be making a little bit of money off the backs of these kids, and like when people started giving football players money, and how much money these guys are making. Everybody wants their cut of it, and like I said, McKenna, for him to forego his last year junior, he's going to go first overall. So he doesn't have to play, doesn't have to have a bunch of 16-year-old or 20-year-old guys beating him over the head in the Western Hockey League. He's already done everything he could possibly do. He's good. His draft capital is going to go up because he's going to be playing against better competition, 23, 24-year-old guys already. It's a no-brainer for McKenna and these high-end guys to go and to not play as much but get better. It was really a no-brainer, and for the junior hockey's got to watch that, because if you're going to have guys not play in their league, the best players playing in your league, who's going to pay the money? Because it's not cheap to go to a junior hockey game. Like for me and the wife to go to a Hurricanes game here in Lethbridge, by the time you take a cab across, you might have a couple of pops at the game, and all of a sudden tickets and beer and popcorn and cabs, and you're looking at $120 Canadian, which is only about $48.95 American. But it's not a cheap thing. So if the high end talent's not there in your local Canadian Hockey League rink, people aren't going to go. It's that simple, and it's a business. And I think it's a big mistake if McKenna got $700,000 from the Nittany Lions. How much money did the Medicine Hat Tigers make off McKenna last year? $700,000 easy.
Yeah. So
why didn't they match it? Like, why didn't the Medicine Hat Tigers say, okay? And it's been happening for years. These kids have been getting a little bit of money under the table here and there. Maybe not $700,000, but why didn't the Tigers match it? Because they're going to be out easily $700,000. Like they went to you think every playoff game they get 5,000 people, and like I said, $25 a head. How much money is that? Like it's huge. What is happening with junior hockey? It's going to be a big hit for Canadian Hockey League.
Yeah, and but I'm certain that the primary reason why Penn State landed Gavin McKenna, one of their most famous alumni, currently owns the Buffalo Sabres and the Buffalo Bills, Terry and Kim Pagula. In fact, they put the financing forward to build the ice rink that's currently on the campus of Penn State at State College, Pennsylvania. So they're the ones who put up the bucks. And yeah, I mean, look, college football players, even before NIL, college football players, college basketball players, we know they were getting money under the table. There's that very famous, very well-known documentary. Actually, it was the first 30 for 30 that came out with ESPN. The Pony Excess about the Southern Methodist University teams in the early 1980s who are up front paying their players up front to come to their university and try to win a national title. So now it's legal and it's out in the open. You're going to see this more and more, obviously in football, obviously in basketball. Now we're starting to see it in hockey, who we don't really know of any scandals that happen in NCAA hockey. It's been pretty pure for as long as I've been watching it, and even beforehand. So Penn State's trying to become the next power, and they were a club team, like maybe a decade and a half ago. They were specifically a club team. And then they decided to take the jump to the NCAA levels because of that huge donation they got from the Pagula family. So now they're trying to become a hockey superpower, trying to compete with the Boston universities and the University of Minnesota's and all those hockey schools. They're trying to become the new hockey school.
Like you think it's kind of the transfer portal per se. Like if a kid can play.
Oh God, don't get me started on the transfer portal.
I'm not. But like, so now you're going to have Canadian kids or even American. There's a lot of American kids that come up and play junior hockey up here. So this can be kind of their transfer portal. You say, yeah, I'm going to play for you for 3 years, but you can always leave. These contracts aren't set in stone. And like, if you play in junior hockey in the CHL, for every year that you play, you get a year of Canadian university paid for afterwards. And but there's a lot of caveats that can go away. The second you sign a pro contract, whether it's a minor league deal or a pro deal, that deal is gone. So now these kids can actually, they can leverage their time, and it's good. They can leverage it and say, okay, yeah, I'll come play for the Prince Albert Raiders or the Saskatoon Blades, and then go, well, this is a better deal. So, and it's kind of their own little transfer portal. And you guys know how the transfer portal works a lot better than I do. But I don't think anybody actually knows that how it all works.
The window is too wide open. It's the Overton door. It's the Overton door of college sports.
There's no door. They're just the whole house is wide open.
It's an open gate. That's what it basically is.
That's it.
Is it is it right? Like when was
yes and no.
Like when was the guys like if you can't take a kid's word for it, a parent's word for it, but then in the same breath, coaches will get rid of a guy right now, right?
That's right. That's right. And not only can they get rid of a guy, they can go and coach. Get another team.
A coach can leave.
And make more money. The players can't do that.
So
at least in the past,
actually, Kevin, when Marshall's coach jumped ship to another university last year, they had to withdraw from a bowl game because a good majority of their players entered the transfer portal to try to get to that university.
That's right. It sure happened. It did.
The transfer portal got left open during COVID. I can say that now because we won't get the strike on the channel. It got left open during COVID. Yeah, it got left open during COVID.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Though that before that there was no portal or anything else, and the coach would leave right at the end of the year. They're going to play in a bowl game, but the coach moves on to another university. And screw you because I'm going to make more money over here, and the athletes are left with nothing. That's not the case anymore. So it's a positive development. You get more exposure. The kids get more. The people can see them. They have an opportunity. So,
and $700,000 in his pocket.
And $700,000 in your pocket. And of course, it had to be. They were threatened with a lawsuit. That's why all this is happening. Anything the NCAA does is because there's a lawsuit. You can be sure of that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happened here. And so, open the door. Let them come in. Let them. If it's a great opportunity and they get money, hey.
There's a out closer to you guys in the OHL, the Hunter brothers, Dale Hunter, ex-NHL guy for a lot of years. They own the London Knights, and they win year after year after year. And there's stories that I don't know if they're true or not, but players got American kids getting paid to come in. Patrick Kane was one of them years ago, and they've been around a long time. And players magically just appear with the London Knights somehow all the time. And so how much money are they making every year?
Mm-hmm.
So why can't the kids? So why can't? And why, like, it's going to be? It might come down to a bidding war for these kids. Like I said, why didn't the Mesa Tigers give McKenna money? Is it going to come to that where now you're going to have junior hockey players getting paid?
That's my next question.
Why not? Why not? Like if you can, and so that's going to actually hurt junior hockey because there's definitely have and have nots. I know out here in the Western Hockey League where you got a town of Swift Current that's got 10,000 people with a building that seats 1,800. And then you go to the Edmonton Oil Kings, who play in the same building as the Edmonton Oilers play with the same ownership group. Same with the Calgary Flames own the Hitmen. So there's obviously a lot more money in there. So if you get in a bidding war for these kids, is it going to hurt junior hockey? Absolutely, it will. Because if they're trying to outbid the Penn States, and McKenna's that's a whole nother generational.
That's an extreme example.
I don't like throwing that term generational because you don't know what you're going to get when he goes pro.
At this point, he's a generational talent.
Everything's pointing that way. At this
point, yeah.
But if
it also makes me want to drink because you said generational.
Yeah. So if you get all of these guys who are the mid-level guys, okay, I'll play for you for $60,000. I'm just throwing a number out there. Mm-hmm. And then so this guy plays for this much, and it's a bidding war inside the Western Hockey League before they even get their NIL money or before they go there. So this money thing, it could be a real disaster because there isn't many NHL teams or WHL teams other than the ones I named that would be able to outbid an American college, just because you have these donors, and it's in every sport right across the board. You have these crazy donors who for some reason feel the need to buy a championship. And that's one thing I don't understand is you get all these guys that sit in the luxury suites at an Alabama game patting themselves in the back because they gave X amount of dollars so the team might win. Like so that one's a weird thing for me, but this money thing could be a major problem for the lower the small markets in the Western Hockey League and right across the board. It could be a major problem. And you guys see it with colleges that the Alabamas of the world in football can outbid the Colorado Tech or whatever. You guys know what I mean, right? Like it's a major problem. And should the players get it? Yes, 100% they should. Because if you think how much the school's been making all these years, like I'm a USC guy and I go down there once a year to watch a game, there's 86,000 people there. 86,000 people aren't going to watch a chess match or a biology test, right? They're just not. And so the school's making how much money off of these guys? So I don't know. Like, is it good for sport? Probably not. Is it good for the athletes? 100%.
Yeah, I think I'll give my final closing thoughts before we move on to our final subject of the day, which is our favorite athletes to the number 59 because it's the 59th episode of our year. But it's not going to be just detrimental for junior hockey teams. It's going to force them to pony up some cash to keep these players in their system. It's also going to be bad for the teams that don't in the NCAA that hockey is their only Division I program. Mm-hmm. There's two colleges
like
right
the
near
University of Denver, right?
University of Denver. They have their Division I.
Are they? Okay, that's the only thing that I know about University of Denver is they have the hockey team and they go to the pros before a lot. So,
they're all the University of Denver is most. I think they're primarily Division I, like the basketball program, the lacrosse program. I think you're thinking Colorado College. They play have one division. Yeah, they have Division I hockey. So does RPI, who plays right near me. Union College.
Engineers,
the Engineers. Union College, who also plays near me. They just got awarded. They got the approval by the NCAA to start offering scholarships only a couple of years ago. We also got Clarkson University. This is ECAC schools I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Clarkson University. The Ivy Leagues, the Ivies primarily play in the ECAC. Then you got Hockey East, University of Vermont, who they're Division I, but they're a smaller school. I'm trying to think of off the top of my head. Bentley, who plays in the Atlantic Hockey, American International. A lot of smaller schools that don't have the big bucks that the Big Ten, schools have, or some of these other, like University of North Dakota. I'm pretty sure they're going to be offering huge money. So I think
So it's going to be the same thing, right?
Yeah, they're
The
going to
have and have-nots, and
they're going to have to create. I think in football and in basketball, you're going to see this. You're going to see them having like the ultra conferences, like the Big Ten and the SEC combined to make this one big conference. You're going to see that in hockey. I mean, you're going to see, and also going to see that in basketball, most likely, because a lot of these smaller schools, a lot of these schools that don't have, like you said, Brent, the haves and have-nots, they're not going to be able to generate unless they have a very well-known, unless they take some money out of their annual and out of their endowment to pay these kind of salaries for these kids to play maybe 1 or 2 years at the very elite level, but like maybe get some kid who is average at hockey but a very good student to play at their university. So it's going to force not only Canadian junior hockey to think about some things, but it's also going to has the smaller schools in Division I hockey to start thinking about how much we're going to have to pay for the success for this program to build this program up and such. So, yeah,
because with the big, we're going, but the Big Ten network is so huge, right? Like, and it's the money that they can make, and so it's good for the Big Ten. But all of a sudden, like, and this is just McKenna. There's a lot of other players that have already signed to go elsewhere, like it's. Yeah, it's scary to think what's going to do to junior hockey, and it's scary to think what it's going to do to the landscape of college. Like, college sports isn't going back to when we were younger with the Pac-10, the Pac-12, and on it goes. It should have been done It should have been done a long time ago. The players should have been getting theirs a long time ago, but it's at the point now where it's out of control, and somebody has to find a way to rein this in, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It won't happen. Won't happen immediately.
NCAA to do it, because the NCAA can't do anything.
No, and I think, I hate to bring politics into this, but President Trump has said, if they're going to be a commissioner of NCAA football, I want Nick Saban to be that guy. You might see it happen. It won't happen tomorrow, but I think it's going to happen eventually, because between the transfer portal and NIL, it's just getting really wild, and it's going to affect other sports too. It's a trickle-down effect from the sports that make the most money, going to trickle down to the sports that aren't big revenue generators, but like they're going to want to sell the student name, image, likeness to a bigger audience. So,
well, you think about like when the Pac-10 or 12 got eaten up by the Big Ten.
The Pac-2.
Right. So
the Pac-2,
and it was for the football. Let's not sugarcoat. It was for the football teams. But now the USC Trojans baseball team, which isn't a huge revenue maker by any means, they got to fly across the country to go and play in Michigan in March.
In Rutgers.
That can't be pleasurable.
Yeah. No. What about the like the volleyball players at UCLA? Yeah. Right?
So,
have to go
all
clear
those
to Rutgers.
teams that aren't making any, like all those non-revenue making teams.
Yep. They have to go clear to Rutgers.
Yeah.
To play a match, and then turn around and come all the way back and be in class on Monday.
Or they can do online classes too. I did online schooling. That's why I got my degree.
As I did as well. So, but if you're going to USC, I'm pretty sure that you have to show up for a class at some point.
It is a private institution, so you do have to show up for class.
Before we go to Reggie Bush about that, but whatever. Yeah.
Give him his Heisman back, damn it!
That's it for sure. Maybe we'll campaign for that one in September and see if we can't get that going.
Couple of comments before we get out of here. Before we go to our last subject, Dustin's brother-in-law Nick saying, "I miss Dustin. You're there with him. Shush."
That's right.
Does he saying, "Wait, football players were not paid before NIL?" LOL. She's an Alabama fan.
Hopefully, that's a big LOL right there.
To which she says, "Roll Tide."
Oh yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Before we get out of here, we're going to talk about our favorite athletes to live. Number 59. You both know the rules. We're revealing our favorite athlete to where the number associated with the episode that we were recording in the year of our Lord 2025. I'm gonna have Kevin start with your favorite number 59.
Okay, so you can get ready to fire up the the hometown,
the Homer alert.
Homer alert. Okay, it's my favorite player that wore. There it is. Okay, that wore 59. That's Michael Bennett of the Seattle Seahawks, and he's an interesting story because he went to the Seahawks, then they released him. Then he came back to the Seahawks and was part of the Dooms, Legion of Boom and all that. Won a championship. He was a 3-time Pro Bowler, and so this guy was one, and he was one of the. He wasn't one of the guys that came out high in the draft that the Seahawks have done so well with in their throughout the last few years, whatever. But so he was able to come out and make a name for himself, be a world champion, be a Pro Bowler, and so he goes to the top of my. To be quite honest, there wasn't a whole lot of choices at number 59. So I was glad to see that Michael Bennett was on the list. So, and he was a Seattle Seahawk, and that's right down my, right down the center lane. So Michael Bennett's my choice.
All right, Brent, over to you. Your favorite number 59.
Well, you go through the long, illustrious list of players throughout the major sports that wore number 59, and it is long and it is illustrious.
Yeah.
First, I saw the great Todd Van Poppel. I don't know if you remember him back in the early 90s with his baseball card, and he was supposed to be the next coming of Nolan Ryan, and that didn't turn out so well. And there's a bunch of people my age or my vintage, I guess, that have a lot of Todd Van Poppel baseball cards kicking around that aren't worth the paper that they're printed on. But he wore number 59 for the Oakland A's for a while. And then Luke Voigt, the Yankees slugger, he wore number 59 for a couple of seasons. But I'm going to go with a Canadian pitcher, pitched for a long time for the Milwaukee Brewers, and he actually pitched in the Western Canadian Baseball League back in the day for the Melville Millionaires, actually. So I'm going to go with John Axford, the great reliever for the Milwaukee Brewers. So John Axford.
Great baseball name right there.
That's right.
Long hair. He once struck out 17 in a 7-inning game in the Western Canadian Baseball League back in 2000. I think it was 2012 or 2009. I can't remember what year it was, but John Axford's my guy. Canadian from Ontario, John Axford.
There you go. Dustin gave me his pick yesterday. His is Luke Kuechly from the Carolina Panthers.
I'm glad I didn't do that because that was one of the ones I was looking at.
Yep. So Luke Kuechly, 7-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro, part of the Hall of Fame of all 2010s team, was Rookie of the Year in 2012, Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2012 by the PFWA. All around, just incredible football player. Unfortunately, his career was cut short because of concussion issues, but he led the league in tackles his first year in the league, 164. Was also the leader in tackles in 2014 with 153. Finished his career with 1,092 tackles, total tackles. Also registered 12 and a half sacks, but he wasn't known as a sack guy. He was more of a tackling machine, was one of the best run stoppers in the league for sure. My number 59, getting the Homer alert for this one because I have a number 59. I did research it from my New York Jets, Kyle Clifton. Kyle Clifton from TCU, drafted by the Jets in 1984 in the 3rd round, and was an absolute, again, another tackling machine himself. Led the league in tackles 3 times in 1985, 86, and 88. He was part of those mid-80s Jets teams that should have gone to at least one Super Bowl. And part of that defense, this isn't part of the offense, but it was a major part of that defense that was very good for a very long time. Career numbers: 1,484 tackles, 5.5 sacks, played in 204 games for the Jets, and finished his career in 1996, which was the year that the Jets went 1-15. It's a bad year to retire, but hey, we played that many years with the Jets, and if you're a Jets fan, you know who Kyle Clifton is. Wore number 59. He was part of those teams that he played for them for a very long time, and was usually the team leader in tackles. It's a shame that he's not doesn't have his number retired, or he's not in It was never named All Pro or never made the Pro Bowl team, but he was a talent. He's a guy who could tackle and get to the running back or stop a running back or stop a wide receiver. So that's my number 59. We got a couple of comments in the comments section about their number 59s. Desi saying her number 59, and she's always educating us about Alabama Crimson Tide players because, like I said, I think she's trying to gaslight me and Dustin to becoming Alabama Tide fans. Hers is Antoine Caldwell, center from 2005 to 2008, was a consensus All-American and first-team All-SEC in 2008, was selected by the Houstons in the 2009 draft, played for the Texans from 2009 to 2013, also played for Buffalo Bills before finishing his career with Jacksonville in 2014. And James saying that his is London Fletcher, real Iron Man, which makes him being an ex-Redskin more tolerable. And he also won a Super Bowl with St. Louis. That's true, he did. And James also wore number 59 for 2 years when he played middle school lacrosse. So
I think that's James' real favorite number 59 is himself for sure.
Hey, sometimes you gotta be your favorite number.
Yeah, you gotta be your own biggest fan, that's for sure.
And now James is trying to convince me to become Notre Dame Irish fan. No, I will never become a Notre Dame Fighting Irish fan because
it's not happening.
Because of what Lou Holtz said about the University of Colorado in the 1990 Orange Bowl can't remember his name, Sal, the quarterback who passed away, unfortunately, played for the University of Colorado. I'm trying to remember his name. I can't remember his name, but for what Lou Holtz said about him, also the Fiesta Bowl in 1989 when they beat West Virginia, who I was rooting for to win a national title with Major Harris at quarterback. No, I will never become a Notre Dame fan. I'm sorry,
yeah.
Not sorry.
Okay, not sorry.
All right, we're going to get ourselves out of here. Let these guys enjoy the rest of their day. Let Kevin enjoy the rest of his time with the wife, and let Brent get some chill time because he's been on the road. So but before we do that, I just want to let the guys plug their stuff. So Brent, I'm going to start with you. Where can the people find your great podcast?
The 1420 Sports Bar podcast, 4 Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more everywhere you get your podcasts and YouTube, and underscore 1420 is most active on the old Twitter machine, and there's a Facebook account. And I keep forgetting about Instagram because I'm not young like all the kids are. I forget about it, but it's we're up there on Instagram too, and I get it up there, but I'm not the most active on Instagram, but I'm doing things going there. But baseball season for me is coming to an end, and so now it's getting to the Major League Baseball season, getting invested in that, and hockey season, college football's getting going. So got lots of content on the horizon, lots of stuff going on here at the 1420 Sports Bar.
All right, Kevin, where can they find you? Except when you're not vacationing.
Well, even though I'm on vacation, I'm going to be on with Dan, as you saw his comments a little bit ago, at the probably at the top of the hour. We're going to do a Seahawks session show minus Dustin.
Hey.
But because we were supposed to do it Friday night, but as I mentioned, that was not going to happen. But so we're going to do that show here. What is it? 10:15 or so. So probably about 45 minutes. We'll do that show. Then on Monday we have the Vince and I have the Belly Up Fantasy baseball show, and then on Tuesday the Belly Up Live football show. So there's a lot going on there. And you can always go to the Belly Up website. I've got articles over there. And if you're still wanting to know when your team is playing, some teams have already played, obviously, but I have an article there that tells you what time the teams play and if they're on TV or not. So get over there to the Belly Up website, check that out. And there I am.
All right. And before we get out of here, we just want to remind the folks at home to check No Credentials Required out on our social media channels: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. And also check out our other podcasts like 1420 and the Belly Up Fantasy podcast at bellyupsports.com. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you podcast, including all these wonderful platforms here: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, any your preferred podcast platform. And also hit the notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube so you get reminded of pretty much anything. If we put up a post, hit that notification bell, you'll be reminded of it. And Dan's actually saying it's actually 5 minutes, so we got to wrap up here.
5 minutes. Dude,
We're gonna wrap up
give me
here.
a minute, man.
But like I said, top of the show, we're gonna take a couple weeks. Dustin and I are taking a couple weeks off. We pre-recorded some material. We put that away. We're gonna be posting that the next couple of Tuesdays. We went back in time and the time machine. We rewatched The Last Dance. So episodes 1 through 5 will be premiering on Tuesday, and then the following Tuesday it'll be episodes 6 through 10. So you can check out our retrospective on that, what we thought of the series and whatnot. And then we'll be back live. The OG show will be back live on the 26th. But we're also bringing back Victory Monday, my Jets podcast with our friend of the show, Dan Goldstein. So we're going to bring back the Jets. We're going to talk about all things Jets. We're going to hopefully get through this season without giving up completely. So in the meantime, we want to let people know, just again, thank you for tuning in.
That's right.
No credentials required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports, even when you have time off. We're presented by Belly Up Sports. For Brent, for Kevin, I'm Ryan McCarthy, and Dustin, who's on vacation. Have a fun time, Dustin. I'm Ryan McCarthy. We'll be back on the 26th live and not Memorex, but live. We'll be live back on the 26th. We're enjoying our time off. In the meantime, have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Enjoy whatever sport you're watching. And we'll be back here on the 26th. So thanks for tuning in. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.